In this tutorial, what we're going to do is we're going to explore a technique that will make working with equations that have lots of fractions or decimals a little bit easier. And what we're going to do is we're going to call this clearing fractions and clearing decimals. So the first equation we have here is 1/2 a plus 2 1/4 equals 2/3 a minus 2. Now, if you're happy working with all these fractions, that's totally fine. But this is a technique that, for those of you who aren't a huge fan of fractions, you might find this a little bit easier. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to convert my mixed number that I have right here into a improper fraction. So let me just quickly rewrite this. I now have 1/2 a plus 9/4 equals 2/3 a minus 2. Now, to get rid of the fractions, what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically do a giant distribution step where I'm going to multiply both sides of my equation by the lowest common denominator of my fractions. So here I have a 2, here I have a 4, and here I have a 3. And I know that the lowest common denominator, the LCD of 2, 3, and 4, is 12. So I'm going to multiply both sides of my equation by 12 on the left and by 12 on the right. Notice that I'm multiplying every single term by 12, not just the fractions. A super common mistake here is people forget to multiply the numbers that aren't fractions by 12 as well, or by the lowest common denominator. So now let's actually balance this out, right? So I have distribution on the left and I have distribution on the right. So my next step now is 12 times 1/2, or 1/2 of 12 is 6, so 6a plus. I can do a little cross canceling here. 12 and 4 simplifies to make 3. 3 times 9 is 27 equals 2 times 12 is 24 divided by 3 is 8, and 2 times 12 is 24. So effectively what I've done is I've eliminated my fractions entirely from the equation. And because I've multiplied the left by 12 and the right by 12, I still have the same equation and both sides are equal. So now I'm just going to solve this like I do any other equation. I'm going to subtract 6a from the left and 6a from the right. Remember, I personally like to eliminate the smaller set of variables. So now I have 27 equals 2a minus 24. And now I'm going to add 24 to the left and to the right. Those cancel out. 51 equals 2a. And now my final step is I'm going to divide by 2 and divide by 2, which leaves me with a final answer of a is equal to, I guess in this case, 51 over 2, or 25 and a half. In this example, all we're going to do is, it's the same sort of technique, except this time we're going to work with decimals. So I have 0.7b plus 1.25 minus 0.45b equals 3. And the same thing here, I'm going to multiply everything on the left as well as everything on the right by the same number. Now in this case, in order to determine the whatever that value is going to be, I need to look at the final place value of each of my numbers. So here I have the tenths, here I have a hundredths, here I have a hundredth, and here I have units place value. The smallest of all of those place values is right here where I have a hundredths place. So because this is the 100th place, what I'm going to do is to sort of undo that. I'm going to multiply everything on the left by 100 and everything on the right by 100. And once again, because I'm multiplying everything on the left and everything on the right by the same amount, I'm following the property of equality, so I know that the two sides will remain proportionally equal. So let's actually do that. Multiply, 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 big distribution step, and same thing over here. 100 times 0.7 is 70. Another way to think of it is I'm just moving the decimal 2 places to the right, 2 places to the right, plus 125 minus 45b equals 3 times 100 is 300. I'm going to now do some combining of like terms. I have some b's over here and some b's right there. So let's combine those. 70 minus 45 is 25. So 25b plus 125 equals 300. I'm going to subtract minus 125 on the left and minus 125 on the right. Cancels out. 25b equals 300 minus 125 is 175. Divide both sides by 25. And you are left with b is equal to 7. And so, once again, right, if you're happy to work with decimals, go ahead and work with decimals. However, if you prefer working with whole numbers, then all you need to do is clear the decimals by multiplying by the reciprocal of the smallest place value.